Okay, let's practice answering questions about line plots. Mr. Bradley is very proud of all the students in his science class. They all studied hard and did an excellent job on last week's science test. Everyone in the class scored an 88% or higher. The line plot below shows the score distribution. Science test scores. Okay, I can see the range on here. 88% was the lowest score, 100% was the highest score. Mr. Bradley's students really did well because an 88% is a very high B. So we're going to answer some questions using this data. Notice they labeled the axis down here, score. So these are the scores. The X's represent the students. So every time you see an X, that's one student. So that's a student that scored 88%, that's a student that scored 88%, and so on. How many students received a score of 94%? Okay, let's come over to 94%. I see one student, two students. So I am going to write in here 2 students. Okay, what was the highest score in the class? Now, this is not asking me what is the highest what is the score that had the most students that scored that score. This just asked me what is the highest score anybody got. So I can't put 100% here. No one got 100%. 98% was the highest score. 89% was the score that was scored the most often, but the highest score was 98%. What was the lowest score in the class? That would be 88%. How many students received a score in the 80s? That means any score that has an 8 in the tens place. I see 8 in the tens place, 8 in the tens place. Let's count those students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 students scored in the 80s. 10 students, plural. How many students received a score in the 90s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got to count all of these. Now I got to count the students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 students. And I might want to double check that and count it again. How many students scored 93% or less? It says 93 or less. Remember, or could mean the same thing as and. So I need to count the students who scored 93% and then everyone who scored below 93%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If it said how many students scored below 93%, I would not count 93%, but it says 93 or less, which is like saying 93 and less. So remember when it says or and, I add it. So I count this. If it said below 93%, I would not count it, and I would just count everything below it.